Hi, good morning. They came in.
It's usually early morning, right?
Yeah, they came in like right after I opened the door. They came in.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
I already spoke with her. I'm now waiting with Joseph from the open house.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. So I was gonna add you to. We send the available listings email. So at the bottom, I was gonna put your information, Joseph's information, and Jerome's information to say that you guys are available for open houses.
To all kind of offices?
Well, it's yes for our available listings email that we send out. We send it out every Wednesday, so you'll see it Wednesday morning.
But it's gonna be our office and alternate.
It's our internal offices. We're still waiting to see what the other offices say, but because they each operate as a separate one, hopefully from there they'll reach out.
You waiting for their answer?
Basically, yeah, because it's because everything's just separate, but I figured out as long as we have you on the available listings email, then people know that the three of you are available to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And here, we're going to the second. Oh, it's 11.
I know, let me, Frank should be here. I'm not sure where he's at, actually.
Okay.
He's okay.
Well, I'm not pushing him, but they're saying it's 11.
There are 7 people in those.
People online, how many? 11?
11:01.
Oh, 7. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. All right, everybody, let's go, let's go.
We got this.
You got that, I saw that. I saw that, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's play the first video and get this party started.
Attention will get you everything you want. You want to sell a course? Attention. You want to sell a t-shirt? Attention. You want to be the mayor of this town? Attention. You want to raise some money for your nonprofit because you're passionate about it? Attention. You want to be an actor? Attention. Attention. Let me tell you a story. When I was a young man marketing for my dad's liquor store and wine store, if you wanted to get people to know about you, you had to pay. You had to pay. I had to pay a newspaper to put an advertising in the newspaper. I had to pay a cable company to run my TV commercial. I had to pay for a billboard to show my sign. I had to pay the marketing direct mail company to make a flyer and send it into your mailbox so you would see it. I had to pay. Today, the attention of the world lives in here. The things that dominate here is gaming and entertainment and social networks. People here complain that they're not getting a lot of views on their videos on Instagram or TikTok or these platforms, but they have forgotten that it's free. Let me say this nice and slow. Today, if you were to advertise on social networks, the cost of showing up, not making it, but showing up is free. This is crazy. Google, which I used a lot, Google AdWords. How many people here do Google AdWords pretty aggressively for their business? A little higher, I just want to get a sense. A lot of you. Google charges you money when somebody clicks. Not everybody converts. You try to figure out if the amount you pay, do enough people convert, that it's worth your money. But it still costs you money. The social network revolution is insane. It is free to build brand. Most people in this room, most people in Brazil, most people in South America, most people in the world do not produce enough content for how big the opportunity is for free attention. That is the biggest elephant in this room today. It is a wow. It's a wow because it's fucking free. And yet people will complain and say, oh, Instagram shadow banned me. Nobody shadow banned you. You just suck at social media. And so I come here on this long flight to pound here attention. Attention will get you everything you want. You want to sell a course? Attention. You want to sell a t-shirt? Attention. You want to be the mayor of this town? Attention. You want to raise some money for your nonprofit because you're passionate about it? Attention. You want to be an actor? Attention. Attention. It is the only asset that everyone in here must chase to produce what they want. Being unemotional about where the attention is very important. Too many of you have demonized platforms out of your subjective opinion, a bad experience. And we must get over that hump. Once you get over the hump, once you sit in this room and understand that everything you want to happen is about building brand and sales in social networks, then you start having to get good at it, right? It's like health and fitness. I can tell you the way to get healthier is to eat better and go to the gym. And once you understand that there's no magic pill, then you can do it. The problem is, there's a good way to work out, and there's a bad way. There's a good way to eat clean and healthy, and there's an okay way where you get tricked if it's really healthy or not. The thing I spend all my time on today in my career, even though I've been in this for a long time, on the flight here with Dustin, with Raghav, all I was talking about was the strategies on the creative that we're posting in social. Is the thumbnail good? Most people here, when they post on social media, post because they're following a trend that they think will do well, or some shit they want to say, but they give no thought, and this is the most important line maybe of the entire talk, so I want everyone to pay attention. They give no thought to the science of the art, no thought of the math around the art to build brands.
What?
What's his name?
Gary Vaynerchuk. So his number one thing that he's talking about here is the number one thing in not just what he's talking about, but in all of business, is that we are trying to get people's attention. All businesses are doing right now are trying to get people's attention. And when you get their attention, what then? And if you look at every platform that's out there, we're going into the next month, it's something that is one of the biggest attention getters in the history of media. Do you guys know what that is? Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Why is that the biggest attention getter?
A lot of money involved.
There's a lot of money. Why is there a lot of money involved? So everybody's watching it. Everybody's watching the Super Bowl. There's people watching the Super Bowl don't even like the Super Bowl because their spouse, their friends, it's practically a holiday. It's practically a holiday. So a lot of people are watching the Super Bowl, but because they want the attention, people are willing to pay for it. Millions and millions of dollars for like 30 seconds on the TV. It's become such a big thing that people are interested and excited to watch commercials that will sell things to you. It's fascinating, but it's all about attention. And there's a lot of people on there that are actually, if you notice the last couple of years, that you go to the Super Bowl and they're redirecting you back to social media. Social media is probably the biggest and best thing that you can find right now that equals the playing field when it comes to marketing, because it is 100% free. I mean, who's on here? Who's on social media right now in here? Yeah. How well are you on there though? So how does attention work? You want attention because you want people to know you. And then when they get to know you, how are they going to use you? They're going to like you. And then after they like you, they're going to trust you. That's the whole thing. Because if you have, I'm just going to use Yakov as an example because he's told me he has this whole list of Russian people. How many people on the list?
Several hundred,
Several hundred. So why don't they use you?
they don't know about.
They don't know you. They don't know you. They don't know you. Check. So literally, if you don't make it past the first one, you can't do the other two. So they don't know you, they can't like you, and they can't trust you. So the key is how do you get them to know you? You know, you have to start creating and cultivating relationships with people. So like for you, because you have such a strong Russian background, it's just like Russian communities online, Russian groups, on Reddit, there's probably, you know, people who there's probably a ton of Russian communities out there that you can probably implement yourself in, and then just start getting to know people. You know, it's all about creating relationships with people. And in today's world, because last year, I think there was 4.9 million homes sold. And I know Richard Schulman sold like 200 of them in 1 year. So,
This is US?
United States, yeah. So if Richard Schulman sold 200 of them, why do you think that is? Why do you think Richard was able to sell 200 of them?
Very
We know
consistent.
People know him and like him and trust.
So, okay, so people know him. That's absolutely true. How do you think people got to know him? Do you think that maybe he called more people than you did?
Yes.
That he probably talked to more people than you did? Notice I didn't say, do you think he's smarter than you? It has nothing to do with that. How, well, so you've been in the business a little while. Do you know any real estate agent that's been in the business forever, but's not very good?
What is the best time to call?
When you're ready to, whenever you want to pick up
No,
the
I
phone.
mean, during the day,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
No, because there is no answer to that question, because like, I do my life different than your life, different than everybody does something different. Nobody takes lunch at the same time, nobody eats dinner at the same time. Everybody's doing whatever. So the key is that it's the same question as, when's the best time to go door knocking? And it's like, when you decide to.
Hmm.
It's like, you have to get out there and just do it, because not everybody will be home, not everybody's gonna answer the phone, but there will be some people. And if you're consistent in doing it, you're gonna end up hitting everybody anyways. But just using Richard as an example, is that he's sold more homes, not because he's better or smarter than anybody else. It's just because he does more. So like when I was talking on Monday about, you know, 100 warm calls, 100 cold calls, 100 content posts, and $100, like those 4 quadrants, it's not necessarily exactly 100, but how many do you think he's doing a day? More than you.
Yeah.
More than you.
I know each month he pays a lot of money just for marketing.
Right, well, but that goes back to this, like, this thing, you know, there's warm calls, cold calls, content, and then money. So he's here. Is that all he's doing? No. No, if you brought him in, this is the first thing he does. Every day, this is the first thing he does. And then he does do these. And then he does that. If you look at his social media, and you tell me how much of his social media is personal and how much is business. He's got a ton of personal stuff on there. Like his son is really cute and he is super funny because he does these little humorous things because he gets people's attention by being funny about stuff. And if you heard what Gary Vee said in that, one of the things about the phone is this entertainment. Entertainment and education. Those are the 2 things that are really, really, really super important when it comes to attention. But at the end of the day, how many people know about you today than they did yesterday? Is it the same? Is it less? If you haven't done anything, it's probably less. You'll regress. That's just the natural order of things. Kind of like sharks. Like sharks have to constantly swim or they'll die, right? If you're not constantly doing something or moving forward in your business or talking to people, like your number of people in your database will just naturally regress over time. Somebody will use another real estate agent, somebody will move out of state, you'll change the number, you won't have them anymore, they'll pass away, like somebody will get divorced and now they're out of your database, like there's all these reasons why it'll regress. The only thing you need to do to keep the attention and have it grow is you just have to talk to more people. So these two things right here can add $100,000 on top of what you're already making, or can give you your first 100,000, just those two things here. But it's just like, how much of it, so when you start off, you're gonna have to do more than you probably feel comfortable with. And the content part we talked about, it's not just posting, it's liking, sharing, DMing. You know, and so just to go back to Richard, like when I went on social media and I posted something, like Richard commented and saw my stories and liked my videos and responded. So he's doing all of that stuff. And this is the secret hack to the content game. If you go start finding people that you want to work with, that you haven't worked with, or you want to get more information, if you start liking and commenting and sharing that person's stuff, they're going to start showing up in your social media more because of the algorithm. And then you're going to start showing up in theirs more once you get to engage, when you start engaging with them. This includes direct messaging. But at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to create more attention for yourself and your business. How many people know about you today? More people know about you today than they did yesterday. So if you can give me 3 hours a day, and you break that up between these two things right here, you can get business pretty quickly. But it's just like, how much are you doing? That's the key. Like whatever you're doing, if you don't have the results you want in your business today, right now, whatever you're doing here, you just have to increase it. And I wouldn't say just increase it, like how much do I increase it? Well, I would say max it out. Max out what you're able to do on a daily basis if you're not getting the results you want in your business today. How far behind are you? Like the analogy that I gave for like, how quickly do you want to get to Vegas? If you need to get to Vegas within the next couple of hours, how are you going to do that?
No stop.
Nonstop. But so I held this over until today. If I wanted to get to Vegas as fast as I possibly could, do you know how I would do it?
Now I know.
How?
I go to GPS to find the shortest road, get to the Las Vegas,
Yep.
and I'm not gonna make any stop.
Yep.
Go here, there. I just go for business.
But what if I show you how to get there even faster? And that's get on a plane. I can get there in 30 minutes if I get the right plane. So right now, this second, I can be in Vegas in the next 45 minutes. I just have to go get on a private plane, jump on it at Burbank Airport, fly there, and I'm there. So that's the thing. It's like, if you have to max out what you want to do, you have to think about things a little bit differently. I gave you the car analogy on Friday. And I wanted to see if anybody was like, well, no, you get on a plane. Like, I don't know if Sean's on right now. I thought for sure Sean, when he was on there on Friday, was going to say, get on a plane. But if you got on a plane, you could get there faster. Huh?
No one said that.
No one said that. I mean, but it's mindset. Right? So when you say, well, how much do I do? It's not how much do I do, it's how much can you do? If you need closings right now this second, and you don't have another job and you have all day available to you, how much time do you have during the day? And so I'd say 3 hours a day. This to me is if your business is already going. Because if your business is already going and you're gonna do 3 hours and you already have things happening, you're gonna have like showings and you're gonna have offers, and you're gonna have all these things you have to do throughout the entire day. So you're only gonna be able to do 3 hours. But if your business isn't where you want it to be, why don't you have this 10 hours? You know, and this will vary with different people. Like if you have kids, if you have a family, if you have different things you can do. But what's the max that you can do on these two things? The great thing about the content and this, the phone, is that you can take it with you. You can just constantly do this all the time, every day. And it works. Tracy just, I think it was, last week, she got a message, somebody, I don't know if it was an email or a text or a DM, but somebody found her from her social media, said that I found you through your social media. And searched her up and got on the phone with her and says, hey, we did a whole bunch of research on you, tell us something that we don't know. And it's like, she had this whole meeting on Saturday with these people, and now she's got a buyer. And it's all from her. If you've looked at her content, she's on TikTok, she's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook, and she is constantly posting every day. Could she do more? Probably. Most of us can. But when you're looking for the attention, what are you willing to do to get the most amount of attention that's out there? I am constantly looking for things and searching for things. So I have one video that I'm working on from this Saturday. So from the social media and the stuff that I've done, we got a different buyer and we're out showing them on Saturday. And I'm constantly, during that one showing, so we showed 6 houses. And during that entire showing, I'm looking for things that I can create content with. I found 2 things. One was a corner property that was there that was great to actually build 3 units on it. So I was gonna do a video on how you can add an ADU in the back, you can convert the garage, and then you can rent out the front house and probably pay for the mortgage. $865,000 in Arleta, right? And then the last showing we had, somebody put a lockbox, I don't know if anybody saw this on my story, put a lockbox on one of those doors that you could just take the lockbox right off of. And it's like and I've seen jokes, I've seen funny video jokes about that with other agents in the past. I've never seen an actual agent do it. It's like you literally steal the lockbox. Because it's not, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
It's like there's probably, there was probably a better place to put the lockbox, but that's where they put it. And it's just funny. So I created a story on that, and I'm getting reaction, I'm getting people's attention. But it has nothing to do with buying or selling real estate. But it gets people to see my stuff. And then what I do is I go to my stories and I look to see who's looking at my stuff. And that's what you should do. The way stories work really well, because they disappear in 24 hours, is you do a story and then you go before they disappear and you see who's looking at your stuff. And then you know that they're looking at your stuff. You can reach out to them. Hey, how's it going? Have a conversation with them. But at the end of the day, it's like, hey. Like, how many people do you walk by and talk to during the day that have no clue who you are or what you do? And the social media game is free. It is free to post. And I did it, I think it was this office to where I came in and I said, if I gave you 1,000 postcards, would you use all of them to mail out? I paid for postage, I paid for the postcards, I paid for all of it, I give you 1,000 of them, would you use it? Yeah. If I gave you 10,000, would you use it? Is there a number I could say to where you would be like, no, that's too many? No. So so my question is why aren't you doing that on social media? Because it's literally free marketing. And there's like billions, not millions, billions of people on social media. And like one of my videos got about 800 views. How much would people pay to be like, I want 800 people to naturally see my stuff? So if we start thinking about marketing differently and start thinking about its attention that you're trying to do, you're trying to get people's attention. You're not buying and selling real estate. You guys aren't buying and selling anything. You're like the middleman to basically make sure everybody plays nice and you make sure everybody has the right paperwork and then it goes to the right place and everybody signs the right stuff. You're the middleman. So at the end of the day, when you do a really good job for somebody, why aren't you telling the world? Because that's going to get you more attention. Or if your office closed a bunch of deals, why aren't you telling the world? Like when you've done a bunch of real estate, like you have a whole bunch, you have testimonials you can do, you have videos that you can do. So if you do a video, real estate video to where you have a drone and you have the inside of the property, you put that out there for the listing and you're gonna get a bunch of views. You put that out there while it's on the market, and then when it closes, you put it out there saying just closed, and you put the video out again. So it's like you're repurposing the video. And then you can go back in time and pull videos of properties you sold and say, a year ago, blah, 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 I sold this property, and you do the video again. It's just about repurposing and getting as much content out there as possible. Because all that stuff is gonna stay online forever, unless you take it down. Who's not here? Do you have any questions on Zoom? What do you guys think? Tracy has 2 buyers, so she's probably working on offers right now.
I'm here.
So was that, how was that the right story that I told about the online person that you got?
Yep. I thought it was a joke because they texted me and said that they were looking. In fact, I probably have the original text message. Hold on a second. I don't like to paraphrase, so I'm going to try to find it. Hold on. Yep, here it is. Hi, Tracy. My wife and I are first-time home buyers, and we are interested in potentially working with you as a buyer's agent. Would you have 20 minutes for a call this Saturday to see if this might be a good fit? And I was like, who is this? What is this? Like, I don't know why it just seemed too easy. And I said, sure, what time on Saturday? How did you find my information? And they said, would 12 p.m. work for you? We found you on Instagram. That's when I did an eye roll because I still wasn't buying it. And I said, 12 p.m. on Saturday is perfect. I'll be waiting for your call. And then, of course, I confirmed it on Friday and we were still on. And these are buyers that are approved up to 1.25. And I'm starting to show them property on Saturday, and they're getting pre-approved with my lender as well.
And Tracy brought it to me, she told me this, and I'm like, did they say the word WhatsApp at all? And she's like, no, they didn't. I said, well, let's follow up and see what happens. Anything that anybody tries to get you off of a phone and off of line and go on WhatsApp, that's not real. Don't ignore those. And well, how did the conversation go when you talked to them on Saturday?
It was great. I mean, they were literally interviewing me. So I always go into this thinking there's other people they're considering, just because I know how this goes. I've been down this path before. So I answered all of their questions, which I think the reason possibly I got this lead is because I do a lot of videos explaining how things work in the real estate market. And I think being that they were first-time home buyers, I really wanted to work with somebody that was knowledgeable in just the process and explaining things and taking the time to explain things. So that's something I really focused on about my UVP, is really about over communication and making sure that they understand the process from beginning to end.
So so let's talk about your Instagram, because that's where this came from. And I know when you closed a property on Only last year, that you had a very similar experience to where these people searched you out online and you thought the same thing when that came in. Because I remember we were going to walk the dogs and you're like, this is weird. I don't know if this is real. Should I call them back? And you went back to the house while I walked the dogs and you called them back and it was real.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your Instagram. How much do you post on Instagram?
I'm pretty close to posting every day on my reels, and I post on my stories more than I post on my reels, but I do batch recordings. So for example, on Saturdays or Sundays, I'll write out 5 to 7 scripts, and then I'll upload those scripts into an app called Big View, which is basically like a teleprompter app, and it records your videos. And then I'll take one day the week before I'm going to post them, and I choose like 5 different outfits, and I'll bring them all downstairs. I'll set up my ring light. I put on some makeup, I fix my hair, and I record all the videos at once. So then the following week, I know that I have enough videos to post every day. So like last week, I recorded all the videos for this week. At the end of this week, I'll record all the videos for next week.
So if you had to guess how many times you post per day, like taking those batched recordings and your stories and all of that stuff, what number would you say that is?
Not even close to how much you'd like me to. This
I
is a
know.
trick question.
I know it's not a trick question. I just want to know, because I know you're doing more than most people, and I want people to understand like where you're at in the process getting business from social media versus where they're at and how close they are.
I would probably say I post anywhere collectively 2 to 3 times a day. It really depends on how busy I am and what mindset I'm in, to be honest with you. That's the hardest part is getting past your mindset. Because a lot of times during the day, all I'm doing is lead generating. I may not have any appointments, but all I'm doing is lead generating, in sweats and a t-shirt, no bra, slippers still on. My dogs are hanging out next to me, but like that's true. That's the God's honest truth. Every day I am lead generating so much, especially now in this market. I have to do triple the amount that I normally do. And I feel like how many times am I going to post pictures of my dogs? That's so boring. Nobody wants to see that. So that's the mindset that I get in sometimes. And then the other day we were out showing property and I'm so focused on the client and what they like and what they dislike and looking for cues and trying to figure out what we're going to write and which ones they like. I'm not thinking about, I don't want to be rude and like go, okay, well, wait a minute. You guys just wait a second. I'm going to film the house. Like, I just think that's rude and inappropriate.
Yeah.
So there's so many
Well,
times I'll be out on appointments and I'm like not even thinking about what to post, like what to film. But then afterwards I'll get in my car and I'll think, oh, I probably could have filmed a few things to help post stuff, but I'm focused on the client. I'm not thinking about it.
yeah.
So
So 2 to 3 times a day, and you do about what, 3 hours of just phone calls and lead generation every day?
it's more than that.
More than that.
It's more than that. I usually am in front of my computer by 7 a.m. and I'm still lead generating right now. It's 11:30. I haven't stopped. So there's a
So,
lot. And included in that, it's also, you know, putting together the newsletter for our database. What am I going to post on our farm Facebook group to talk about the farm? It's following up with the buyers that I have right now that want to go look at property on Saturday and Sunday. It's following up with agents. A buyer just texted me, oh, I want to see this property. And it's reaching out to that agent to see like how many offers do you have? Can we make an appointment to go take a look at it? That's included in all of it.
yeah. And so I just want everybody, the 2 to 3 times a day it's 7 days a week for her, because what you do is if you look back on her posts from this last weekend, like we watched football, everything, and it was less real estate and more personal stuff. So it kind of flows with what she does on a daily basis as far as where the posts and stuff come from. So it's not like, I don't know where the mindset of Monday through Friday for real estate came from, but I've never agreed with that. So she's constantly posting online, and what this does, and this is what I would say, and so the Only people, I know this for a fact, is that they reached out to us after they did all this research on Tracy and myself, and there was a connection there because I was in law enforcement, and Tracy puts a lot of things about personal things about like the dogs and all these different things, and when people do that, they're looking to connect with you. So the social media and putting information out there and commenting and liking, that's all great because that gets to know you. But then when you put your personal thing on there, that gets them to like you. And that's the key. Like I always tell, like one thing I tell Tracy is like when you do videos, like put the dogs in there more, because there was one time where the dog like jumped up on the side and started like licking your arm or whatever. I'm like, that's just really cool because it looks more natural and it's really authentic. And so people look at your videos and your social media and they get to like you, like the videos that you're doing. You just gotta be patient. Like those are great videos. It shows who you are. You're doing things that are comfortable for you, and you're speaking in Russian, which is gonna end up attracting that community, because I can name on my hand how many agents that are Russian that are posting social media content and speaking Russian. One, you. So the thing is that that community is really small in relation to the entire world. So you're just gonna have to put more out there and be more consistent. The reason Tracy gets the business she gets from social media is because she is massively consistent, and she does a lot of things that gets her a lot of attention. Which is like, I'd say, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I think you do 50-50. You probably do 50% business and 50% personal. Would you agree with that, or what do you think it is?
Yeah, I would say, and to be honest with you, I probably get more reaction and likes on personal stuff than I do real estate. And then I start getting in my head like, oh, I only got 19 likes on this video about, how to write a competitive offer in a multiple offer situation, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but then, I have to realize like there's people looking at it and don't like it. I watch people's videos all the time and I don't like it, but that doesn't mean I didn't like the video. So, little hack here, the best way to get my kids to react to me is if I post too much stuff about Taylor Swift, all they do is just call me or text me and give me a hard time. So that's a little hack right there. Get your kids to reach out to you.
I think there's a huge mindset issue with social media that people think you need thousands and millions of views. Like everybody wants to go viral. I don't know if that's the best thing. So like if you posted a video and it only got 100 views, is that a lot, Tracy, 100 views?
Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button. 100 views, what was the question?
I mean, is that a lot of views? Like if you got 100 views, I mean, you probably,
Well, of course, that's great because that buyer that wants to work with you might be in there and they want to see what else you're going to talk about tomorrow. Look,
But in
I
the-
think I get low views and I just got a 1.25 pre-approved buyer that we have an appointment on Saturday to go look at property. Like, I didn't expect that. There were no clues saying this is going to happen based on my views and likes, but I'm very consistent. I just keep doing it.
Yeah. So the way, I'll give you an example, and I'll just use one platform. The way TikTok works is that like TikTok's gonna show your stuff to like 200 people. And then if those 200 people react or whatever, it's gonna show you to more and then it's gonna grow more. And so you don't get thousands of views, that means the majority of people are not interested in what you're doing, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that we have this mindset that we have to grow big and we have to have all these views and this and that, la, la, la. That's not true. If you had 100 views on your video, 100 people wouldn't even fit in this room. That's a lot of people. And I think that because the world is so big and there's all these influencers and all this mindset around going viral, I think it's kind of made people have a skewed version of what's really important. And if I could get 100 people to listen to what I'm saying, that's a lot. And if you can do that every day, that's a lot. So getting yourself out there and volleying for the attention and getting people's attention is the key. And you can do it. It's going to cost you nothing. And what I would suggest is during the Super Bowl or during events or just in general, start talking to people because it's proven that when people are sitting down, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, when you're sitting down to watch TV, do you ever sit down without your phone to watch TV? It's proven that most people have 2 to 3 screens in front of them while they're watching TV. They have a TV, they have their phone, they have an iPad, they have other forms of communication in front of them, and they're always, I know it's like, when Tracy has business going on, like sometimes I'm like, do you want me to pause the TV? Because she's just like responding and talking to people on her phone all the time. It's just, this thing is one of the most powerful marketing tools the world has ever seen. And as realtors, most of us are just not using it enough. So it's like when somebody, like if you know somebody that's not a really big football person, like text and call them during the Super Bowl, see how they're doing. I guarantee you more than half of them are going to be watching the Super Bowl, even if they don't want to. Because it's a holiday and it's a trendy thing to do right now, and they're waiting for the commercials that are supposed to be really cool that people spend hundreds of millions of dollars on. Who is scared of this or challenged of? Who's brave enough to admit this? You are? Are you?
Wait, I wonder how Tracy made that transition from being an actress right into becoming a realtor and then posting on
Yep.
social media. How do you?
Did you hear that, Tracy?
Just did she suddenly started like posting about real estate or?
Tracy, you still there? And we lost her.
Sorry, I'm here. I had to take the dog out. Had to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no problem. Did you hear the question?
I did not. I just got back to my desk.
Tell me if I said this right. She wants to know how did you handle the transition from being an actress to doing real estate? And did you start posting on social media?
I would say my first, let's see, 12 years, 13 years in real estate, I did not talk about being an actress. I just focused on real estate. I just talked about real estate. I think it was, I wanted to make sure that people knew this is what I was doing now. So I didn't kind of convolute the both. It wasn't until I met you, Frank, that you were like, you should be talking about it more. People like that. They remember you. They would already know, like, and trust you because of that. So I didn't really do much with it. I still don't do much with it, but that's what happened.
So you just dove in without even talking about being an actress. You just dove into social media, and now I think you're starting to connect the two a little bit.
Yes. I have to grab this call really quick.
Sorry. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
So
But
she
I
went straight into it.
she went straight into real estate, and I know if you listen to her about her story, like she said she used to watch people on HGTV and how fancy they looked and whatever, and she's like, oh, that looks easy, I can do that. I think that's what most people think. And then she got into real estate and she realized that it wasn't as easy. It wasn't as easy as she thought it was. And so she had to actually, she ended up joining a team where she was like the backbone of the team. And the team wouldn't let her do social media at all, which it was stupid. And then when I met her, I told her, I'm like, no, you should totally be doing social media. And then she started doing it, and I think it didn't work, like the team didn't like it when she did it, but she just has a natural ability to be on camera, so it works out. But I do know that she's been in front of the camera thousands of times. So like, when I go back to, do you think that person's made more phone calls than you? Like Richard Schulman's made more phone calls than you. And that's why he's able to do that. So the way you get to where he's at is you have to do a lot. You have to do a lot of phone calls. You have to do a lot of social media. And Mr. Beast, the #1 YouTuber in the entire world, his YouTube channel is worth billions of dollars, billions with an S of dollars. He says that if you want to do great social media content and great videos, don't even come talk to him until you've done 100 videos. Because every time you do a video, you're going to get better. You're going to get better. You're going to realize what you need to do, the little tweaks, the little things that you need to do. And as you do them, you're going to get better. And it's the consistency of it. And he's so focused on videos that if you ask him, like somebody asked him about a reality show, he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I really just pay attention to YouTube. And it's just like that focus and that attention to detail of what he does has made within less than 20 years, he's a billionaire basically. He makes millions of dollars from his videos. And so like 5 to 10 years in, he was making 6 to 7 figures on his videos because he was only focused on that. Because he's not good because he's good because he's done it more than everybody else. So if you're not where you want to be in your business, you have to think the things that everybody's telling you to do in real estate, have you done it more than everybody else? Once you start doing that, the repetition and the consistency is going to get you where you want to go. That's just math. Like Kobe Bryant said in that video, it's math. It's like you have to do it more than everybody else. And or more than you're doing it now. And I will tell you this, Tracy does not post as much as I want her to. I tell her to do way more than she does. But I have to go home to her. So she, she does what she wants a lot. But she does amazing. She's probably one of the strongest social media realtors that I've seen out there, because there's a lot of people out there that do social media and it's all smoke and mirrors. So she actually, she just got a buyer from Instagram. Somebody bought a property in her farm and she got a message through Instagram. She got a listing and a sale from online. So she's done a lot of things, but it's really about the consistency of her behavior. So it's like, if you're not doing something, it's because you're comfortable where you're at. How much content would you have to push out to make yourself uncomfortable? That's where you need to be. Thoughts, questions before we play the last video? Anybody? Going once, going
I
twice.
wanted to say something really quick.
Yes, yes.
I don't know the name of the gentleman that plays the piano, but I would think that would be so cool if every day he posted himself playing the piano and like sang a little something at the very end that he's there for their real estate needs and eventually start talking about it because I think that that's such a cool thing to be able to do. Like I don't have like a special skill set, right? And I think that would really draw people in to see like how well he plays the piano. Plus, he'd have a really cool tagline, keys to all your real estate needs and the little piano keys. Like, come on, that's like awesome. And I just think, if you have something that you could do to tie into what you do, and put the two together, that's a really unique thing. And not a lot of people can play the piano, so you're going to attract people immediately. That's all.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, people remember better this way.
Yeah. Who's one of your favorite piano players?
One of them, Horowitz, William Horowitz.
Horace?
Horowitz.
Horowitz. How much real estate did Horowitz own? Research that. Find out how much real estate Horowitz owned. You can do a little piano thing playing his stuff and say, did you know that Horowitz owned 5 houses or never owned a house, and create a story around that at the end of what you're playing. I mean, there's so many different things you can do because what you're going to do is that you probably already have a following and people are already going to notice, like if you do something like that, that's going to get their attention. And then when you tie it to real estate, it's just going to accelerate what you're already trying to do, because how many people are you talking to about real estate that don't know anything about your skill? So use it as leverage. So like Tracy uses her acting as leverage because she's good on camera. Like she can just turn on the camera and do something, right? She already knows that. So that's something she's leveraged. Yours is actually more entertaining because you're playing an instrument. You can literally play something angry, play something sad, play something happy. Like you can literally control the rhythm of the video by doing something like that.
Thank you.
So I think that's a brilliant idea. Good job, Tracy. Thank you. Anybody else before we wrap it up?
You don't mind if I can say something? Hi, how are you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me now, but this is Donato, by
Yes.
the way. And no, I actually have a YouTube channel. I have like almost like 7 videos because my videos are long.
Yeah.
And every time when I finish with my videos, I always pronounce myself that I work in real estate and I have a real estate license, and for them to give me a text or any message below, because I have like a link that I send them to the KW website, and they have all the information right there as well.
Yeah.
And with that, with those videos, I got almost 1,000 views already. All of them
nice.
together, because it's a new channel, and so, but nobody called me so far or text me so far. But you never know, you never know.
Absolutely. I mean, 1,000 views, that's crazy. That's a lot. That's great. So I'd say keep doing that. If you go to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast, there's a guy on there that gets all of his business from YouTube, and he talks about it. So I would definitely look at that because it's really inspiring. But the Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast is a very, very, very good podcast. I don't even think they have 20 episodes left yet, but it's really good information. And there's a guy on there about YouTube, and he's going to be at family reunion too. So that's awesome. All
Great,
right,
thank you.
no problem. All right, let's play the last video and get out of here.
Life is not easy at all. There's gonna be challenges. You're gonna get beat down. That's the way life is.
You sort of put a mask on your face and you go home and lay in your bed when no one's looking at you, when you don't have to impress anybody, and you're yourself. And fear comes in. Maybe you don't know for sure what's going to be happening in the future, and it scares you. Just that fear paralyzes you. And I just want to ask you today, do you think you have hope?
At some point, everything's going to go south on you. Everything's going to go south, and you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math, you solve one problem, then you solve the next one.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's gonna happen. All that matters is that you gotta get up.
You have to get up.
Whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. Sometimes you have to just back up and go within yourself and pray and meditate and recharge your batteries. Go away, clear your head, and then come back and look at it from a different vantage point. Don't operate while you're under the spell or the effect of what's going on. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. You don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to beat yourself up over the head, to feel loaded with guilt. You don't have to make any effort to do that. Your mind is on automatic. It will do that by itself. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back.
You ask, bro, what do you want? Man, I want to be diamond. Tell me something I don't know. Everybody wants it. But the raw reality of it is, everybody don't get it. And the crazy thing is, if you want it, you can get it. It's not like somebody is stopping you and holding a gun to your head and telling you you can't get it. It's a matter of will. It's a matter of hard work. It's a matter of sacrifice. It's a matter of dedication. It's a matter of commitment.
The difference is not the genetic code, the potential. It's a guy that's willing to get knocked down, finally tested on fortitude, stand back up, the perseverance to see it through, the never say die attitude.
We know the battle ahead. We know the journey ahead is going to get tough. We know we're going to face obstacles. We know it's going to be some discomfort. We know they're going to try to break us. We know they're coming for us. We know that's going to happen already. So let's make up in our minds before the battle that we're going to be victorious.
Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it. At the end of pain is success. You're not going to die because you're feeling a little pain.
You tell yourself, I won't give up. When that depression hits you, come out of nowhere, you tell yourself, I won't give up.
There's no guarantee that because somebody is now down on their luck, they can never come back. Who can guarantee that you can't make it? That you can't have your dream? Who can guarantee that you can't do what you want to do? No one can do that. No one can predict that. You don't know what the possibilities are for your life.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battle you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be, to do what you want to do.
All we need to do is we look at our dreams as we get ready to hit the floor. I'm blessed and highly favored.
I don't care if you sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you alive, you can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostrils, boo, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you got some good stuff today. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
That's what turn phone calls.